Let's talk more now about the earthquake, and we're joined by earth scientist Professor Tim Wright from the University of Leeds School of Earth and Environment. He is the co-director of the Centre for the Observation and Modelling of Earthquakes. Can you just tell us a bit about what we know about where exactly this earthquake happened and where it has spread to?
Yeah, so this earthquake has struck this region near the town of Mandalay. One thing to bear in mind for earthquakes of this size, all earthquakes really, they're not point sources, so they're not just like an explosion that just happens in one location. Earthquakes are caused by slip on tectonic faults, and to have a big earthquake, you need a lot of slip on a long fault. And the evidence we're getting from seismic waves from this event is that the earthquake fault was about 200 kilometers long. So it goes to about 50 kilometers to the north of Mandalay and about 150 kilometers to the south. And, just to put that in perspective, that's like you're getting most of the way along the M1 from London to Sheffield, something like that. It's a very large region that's going to have been impacted by this devastating event.
And do we know what causes these movements?
Yeah, I mean, if we take a step back, ultimately they're caused by the motions to tectonic plates. In this particular region to the west, we've got the Indian plate, and Myanmar's essentially caught along the edge of that. I mean, it's being kind of sheared. So the west of Myanmar is being pushed up to the north, and a lot of that motion, it's about 2 centimeters every year on average, something like the speed your fingernails grow. And a lot of that motion is taken up on this north-south fault called the Sagang fault, which appears to be the fault that slipped in this earthquake. Another large triggered earthquake as well. So many of your viewers will remember the earthquakes that we had in Turkey 2 years ago. There was one earthquake that was very similar to this one, ruptured 300 kilometers of a fault, and then there was another earthquake, very large earthquake, also happened within about 10 hours. That's extremely rare, but we can't rule that out. One of the kind of tragic things that we can do quite quickly now these days is make estimates of the number of people who might have been killed by an earthquake, and we get those first estimates within about 20 to 30 minutes. And the US Geological Survey is one organization that does that, and they're estimating at the moment that there's a more than 50% chance of there being more than 10,000 people killed by this event.